Hey everyone, and welcome to another pickups video. I kind of pushed this one out fast because I'm leaving to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to release this video while I'm there or when I get back home, but I wanted to have this video uploaded just in case. I might release it or release it when I get back home. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Got some good games on here, so let's get started. Here's Bombrush Cyberpunk. I could barely read the font of this game, but if you guys have played games like Jet Set Radio or Skate Park, you'll know what you're dealing with here. I guess when it comes to genres, you could call this game a sports, platform, action, adventure. I don't know if that's what they call Jet Set Radio, but either way, this game is on point. So you play as a character who's locked up in jail, and the police abandon the building because I guess there's some kind of event going on. So one guy breaks out, he ends up breaking your character out, and you guys escape the jail together. Now, before you escape the jail or the police station, you kind of like learning the mechanics of the game, like how to like tag stuff up, you know, grind on the rails, jumps, and things like that. And you can actually boost when you jump, which is pretty cool. But what tripped me out about this game is that after you learn all that stuff, you even get to fight a boss before, before you even get into the main game. But as your characters are escaping, you're running across a roof. This character, I guess he's the main bad guy, throws a vinyl at you, and it decapitates your character. And I thought it was a joke, but it really happened, and you pretty much lose your head in the game. That really just kind of like, I don't know, it turned this game into a horror game for me, because losing your head is like, what the hell? And already in the beginning of the game, but you end up getting this cyber head thing, and I guess it retains your memory somehow. Basically, the story is telling you that your head is being held somewhere, and you're gonna go try and rescue it or retrieve it back or whatever. But it just, that whole thing is weird. Sorry, I didn't mean to like trip you guys out about the story, but that's how it is. You guys remember that movie called Surviving the Game with Ice-T, and that part where he's in the woods, where he goes back to the cabin, he goes into that locked room and he finds those heads in there. That's what that whole scene reminded me of. I was like, man, they're probably keeping his head somewhere like that, and that was that's messed up. Anyways. Hopefully the game has a happy ending when it comes to your main character, but the gameplay is where everybody's going to have their focus at. The gameplay, grinding on rails, or tagging stuff up, you got some big environments to like work with, and it's really fun. Lots of people interacting around you, so you really feel like you're in a lively city in this game. Definitely happy to have this game in the collection. I would love to know what you guys think about it, because I haven't played a game like this in quite a while. I think the last game that was kind of similar to this, I guess, was Skate Park City, or you could say Jet Set Radio, which, you know, we know how long ago that game came out. But if you guys have played Bombrush Cyberpunk, let me know your opinion of the game in the comments section. And also, I wish this game would have had some kind of online mode, because I felt like this game is like a good hub for people to meet up. But anyways, maybe they'll add that feature later. But anyways, guys, yeah, try this one out. Here is the Karate Kid Street Rumble. This game, a total surprise. It was announced 3 months ago, and now it's finally here. This game, and just by looking at it, reminded me of Shredder's Revenge, so I knew I wanted to pick it up, and especially, you know, being a part of the Cobra Kai Karate Kid series, I wanted to pick it up as well. The game did not disappoint. You know, I feel like it should have had some kind of online capability, because, you know, playing this game solo, you get ganged up on a lot, but the game follows the first 3 Karate Kid movie storylines, so, you know, if you've seen those movies, you kind of know what to expect here. What really stood out to me is the game's soundtrack. I love that 80s vibe music. Definitely has a good soundtrack. And overall, learning the combos and fighting the bosses and everything, it's a lot of fun. You know, it's funny. Going back and watching the movies, you kind of see how much of a jerk that Daniel was. Not Johnny. Johnny's the good guy, in my opinion. And I think Cobra Kai was mainly about him, but they kind of like pushed Daniel's character in there to kind of take over the story. I didn't really like that in the Cobra Kai series, but I'm going off topic. Anyways, this is a good game. I couldn't say it's good for the price. This is like one of those games that should be $30. So right now it's going for like $40. I would say like at the most you probably want to pay us $30 and then less, but you're getting a solid game here. And yeah, that's all I can really say about it. I could probably say a lot more if I had a more of a like a co-op experience with it. I'm a good distance in the game now, but I can't wait to get to Terry Silver. I mean, I'm actually a fan of Karate Kid 3. I loved it. I thought Terry Silver, he made that movie, and if you go back and watch the third movie, it's pretty insane. But yeah, guys, if you play this one, if you plan on picking it up, let me know what you think. All right, so here is Reydllom. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, this was a secret game that nobody knew how it played until they bought it, I guess. And this is a horror game, I'm guessing, but it's real grainy and it's hard to tell where to go. Every door is locked. I'm being stalked by a monster that I seem not to be able to outrun. It's just really annoying. Like I think this game is cursed, or this really wasn't meant to be played. But yeah, I guess I could say it is uncommon and rare, but yeah, this game is very creepy and what else can I say? Just, I don't know. Street Racing Syndicate. Got to give a shout out to my buddy Joe Rad. He actually picked this game up on one of our podcasts, and you know, I remember seeing this game back in the day, and I didn't really pay attention to it. I don't remember what game I was playing when this game was somewhat popular. I don't know if it was really popular back in the sixth generation of video games, but the game was pretty much on all platforms: Game Boy Advance, GameCube, PS2, and the Xbox. Plus, it has online, so they actually got the game back online. So I want to kind of go and experience that and see how it was. You know, get a crowd of people, have some races, see how the game is. Whether this game is good or bad, I think I'm gonna have fun with it just for nostalgia reasons. So if you guys have played this game, you know, let me know how it compares to other racing games. Obviously, I'm gonna choose Need for Speed Most Wanted. Most Wanted is probably one of my favorite racing games of all time. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of Street Racing Syndicate. Here's Gyruss for the NES system. I first played this in the arcade. I was really young. I think I was like 3 years old. And I remember my mom took me to this arcade and I got to play the game. And I got pretty far in the arcade version. I'd say I last probably around a good 4 or 5 minutes. But the NES version of the game is actually superior than the arcade one. This one adds like story mode and other things too, but this is what you would call like kind of like a tube shooter in a way. You can just go around as a circular motion on the screen and attack enemies, but this one is a lot of fun and exciting. And going to the new planets are the new areas, and then this game actually adds bosses too. I don't remember any bosses in the arcade mode, but I haven't played that version in a long time. But anyways, definitely a good game to have on the NES. Here is the Big Deal Pack, which includes a Miracle Space Race. Now, these were very common, like kind of like towards the end of the PlayStation's life cycle. A cheap budget way for you to buy a controller and a game all at once. But one thing about these packages that if you do open them, be very careful because these things could actually slice you if you're not careful. But anyways, this game, originally called Space Race, is a budget kart racer or space racer, as you can see here. And you know, if I remember right, this game had like 3 levels and everything, and you play as these animal creatures. But what's funny about this game was it was recycled and retitled as other games as well. I can't remember which ones right now on top of my head, but this game was definitely reused in other games. Now, if you're wondering if this is a good racer, Really depends on what your definition of a good racer. You know, if you played something that's way better than this, then this game is probably going to be subpar to you. But if you haven't played anything that good and you're gaming on a budget, this game might be up your alley. But I think the limited access to like new levels, like to more like races or courses, I would say, might turn some people off. But for the cheap price, if you find a game by itself, a few years ago I was going to do a video based on the bad kart racing games, but unfortunately I just didn't have the drive to finish the video. But yeah, this was going to be one of the games that was on that list. Here's Xenocrisis for the Super Nintendo. You guys know how I feel about this game. I've been talking about this game for over 4 years now, and finally got the Super Nintendo version out. And what was funny about this was Console Wars actually did a comparison video with this version versus the Genesis version. I knew the Super Nintendo version would come out on top, but I'm impressed with pretty much every version of this game, seriously. They even have a Game Boy Advance version coming out, which I can't wait for. But just in case you guys haven't heard of this game, Xenocrisis is a top-down shooter game, which has you taking out alien threats and rescuing civilians. Now, each room is randomized, so every time you play, the game will be slightly different, you know, just fresh enough for you to be like, hey, what the heck is this? But definitely an awesome game. 2-player co-op, 6 levels. Make sure, oh my god, well, this game it can be tough, so I don't want to spoil the secret for you guys because I want everybody to experience what I went through. But solid game, guys. You're going to want to pick this up, whether it's on Super Nintendo, Genesis, N64, Dreamcast. Make sure you have a copy of Xenocrisis in your library. Here's 88 Antarctica. Now, this is a survival horror game that takes place at this base called Arctica 1. This is a survival horror game that has you trying to find out what happened to the crew that was at the base before you. Now, what I like about this game, it gets straight to the point. You know, in the prologue, teach you how to use your weapons, what kind of enemies are going to be coming after you. And then when it shows some of the enemies that are going to be coming after you during the game, it goes into the beginning of the story, like how things got started. So definitely pretty cool. Now, the game is pretty straightforward. It's not one of those games that's going to take you a long time to beat, but it does have some creepiness to it. You know, so there is exploration. Well, I shouldn't say exploration like that. Like you could kind of like look around, do different things, but you mainly want to stick to your objectives because you want to keep the story moving. Now, here's a cool part about this game, and I think this is an element that a lot of survival horror games should use. Depending on the time you play this game, it will show in the game. So pretty much if it's like in daytime, you're playing in daytime, the game will be in daytime. If you're playing at night, it will be at night. So as you can see from the footage here, I played at night, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I think like more games should do that kind of element. From what I've read, they said this game probably takes you like your first time playing it around 2 hours to beat. I'm not mad about that. I just want like a cool experience. So if I get 2 hours of a cool experience, then, you know, yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, I'm not saying this game is great or nothing like that, or even good for some people. You know, if you like what you're seeing here, you might want to pick it up. I think it's available as digital, but of course I got to get the physical copy. But I'm not trying to tell everybody to get a physical copy of it. That was just me because I like survival horror games. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Oh yeah, I do want to mention this too. The game does have a few glitches that can mess you up, so just be careful of that. I was actually riding the snowmobile. I was trying to be careful because I was going through it at night. And then when I got to a part where you had to jump, I didn't know you had to jump because they had flags there. I slowed it down, and then I got stuck. I couldn't back up, so that was kind of annoying. So I guess this might have been just a glitch that happened to me, but either way, just be aware of it. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember this, the pickups never stop. So I always like putting these videos together for you guys, so I hope you guys continue to enjoy them. But anyways, that's all I got for you in this video, guys. The Radical One, and I will see you all later.